Sean, and distinguished members of the committee. I thank you for the opportunity to testify at this important hearing and for your strong and sustained support for science and technology. Today, I'd like to begin to tell a story of how we engineered a microbial production process for a much-needed drug to combat a deadly disease that affects millions of children around the world, and how repurposing that same process allows us to meet needs not only for health but also for energy and the environment. There are approximately 250 million cases of malaria every year, causing nearly 1 million deaths annually. Most of the victims are children under the age of 5. A child dies of malaria every minute. Conventional quinine-based drugs are no longer effective, while plant-derived artemisinin combination therapies are highly successful. For many malaria victims, they are simply too expensive. To bring down the cost of the therapy and stabilize the supply, we engineered a microbe, a yeast, to produce a precursor chemical to the drug. To do this, we transferred genes responsible for making the drug from the plant to a microorganism. The process of producing artemisinin is akin to brewing beer. Rather than spitting out ethanol, the microbes spit out artemisinin. The microbe consumes that sugar and produces the drug from that sugar. We licensed this microbial production process to Sanofi-Aventis, who has scaled the process to industrial levels. This year, Sanofi-Aventis produced 70 million doses of artemisinin and is on track to produce 100 to 150 million every year for the next few years, roughly half the world's needs. We predict that the drug produced by this process could save a large fraction of the annual 1 million children that die of malaria. Begun in 2004, the artemisinin project was supported by a $42 million grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and took roughly 150 person-years worth of work to complete the project. We were able to complete the project largely due to readily available, well-characterized biological components, a significant point that I will return to shortly. The artemisinin story demonstrates the significant medical benefits of engineering biology, but also reveals how these benefits extend to chemical manufacturing. Unfortunately, engineering biology is still time-consuming, unpredictable, and expensive, and many urgent challenges in health and energy and the environment remain needlessly unresolved. Efforts aimed at making biology easier to engineer have come to be known as synthetic biology. As was the case with the development of synthetic artemisinin, synthetic biology represents a convergence of the advances in chemistry, biology, computer science, and engineering. Experts in the fields work together to create reusable methods for increasing the speed, scale, and precision with which we engineer biological systems. In essence, this work can be thought of as the development of biological-based toolkits that enable improved products across many industries, including medicine and health. About 10 years ago, around the start of the artemisinin efforts, several colleagues and I set out to develop these more generalized approaches to making engineering biology easier to engineer. We believed that we could engineer microbes to produce virtually any important chemical from sugar. Yet there was a severe lack of publicly accessible tools for building biological processes and products. So we went out to the National Science Foundation, proposed a center dedicated to building these tools for the research community. In response, NSF granted us the Synthetic Biology Engineering Research Center, a 10-year multi-institutional research project designed to lay the foundations for engineering biology. Now, 8 years later, SynBerk has produced a broad range of toolkits that are being developed in the fields of energy, agriculture, health, and security, and offer an array of economic benefits. When SynBerk was established in 2006, it was the nation's single largest research investment in synthetic biology. 8 years later, this and other federal funding have catalyzed the growth of academic research centers around the country, the production of many synthetic biology-enabled chemicals in the private sector, 5 startup companies from SynBerk itself, and a robust private-public consortium that helps guide the research from lab, bench to bedside. The U.S. model has been so successful that other countries, particularly China and the U.K., are developing aggressive, nationally coordinated research programs in an effort to surpass the U.S. to become the global leaders in biological engineering. These investments in synthetic biology are already making their mark on national economies. By some estimates, domestic revenues from biologically engineered systems was thought to account for more than 2.5% of U.S. GDP in 2012, with a growth rate of 10%. The U.S. has been a leader in this field because of early and focused federal investment, but we now face stiff competition from overseas and uncertainty in our pre-competitive investments here at home. I believe that now is the time for federal governments to work with academic and industrial researchers to launch a national initiative in engineering biology to establish new research directions, technology goals, and improve interagency coordination. I thank you for your time.